Hi, we're from the Department of Community and Global Health, School of International Health, the University of Tokyo, under the supervision of Professor Masamine Jimba.
Hi, my name is Tomiyaraki from Japan. I'm the first year doctoral student.
Hi, I'm Prakash from Nepal. I'm a third year doctoral student.
Hi, I'm Karin Zamai from Malawi. I'm currently a first year PhD student.
Hi, I'm Rakesh. I'm from Nepal. I'm a first year doctoral student.
Hi, my name is Ken and I'm from Malaysia. I'm currently a second year doctoral student.
When you think about Japan, what comes in your mind?
Origami.
Manfuji!
Sushi! Cherry blossom!
But Japan is also one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world.
Yeah, I know that. But also Japan is known for disaster preparedness. But everything is Japanese!
So foreigners like us who have designed a plan for disaster preparedness.
This presentation is about preparation for disasters. Therefore, it is important that we clearly define what we mean by a disaster. A disaster occurs when a hazard event, also referred to as a triggering event, comes in contact with a vulnerable population and or their properties. The triggering events can be natural, such as earthquake and typhoon, or man-made, such as nuclear explosion, or a combination of the two, such as floods. As shown, vulnerability is characterized by a number of factors. For instance, unsafe living conditions, social forces, and underlying factors. For example, consider an earthquake of a specific magnitude. Let's say 6.0. It may not trigger any disaster in an area with earthquake-resistant buildings, but it may in another area without such structures. The focus of our presentation is on disasters that are triggered by natural hazards, that is, natural disasters. Let's now look at the global trend of natural disasters. Flood, storm, epidemic, earthquake, and drought are the most popular triggers of natural disasters. Of these, flood is the most common hazard, followed by storm and epidemic. As you can see, in the last 2.5 decades, the number of disasters triggered by floods and drought has increased, while those caused by the earthquake and epidemic has gone down. In this graph, the red line shows that the number of natural disasters has increased globally since 1990. In particular, there was a sharp increase in natural disasters between 1996 and 2000. Another important observation in the graph is that Asia has been registering the highest number of natural disasters each year since 1990. In total, over 1.8 million people have died globally since 1990 as a result of natural disasters. Most of these deaths have occurred in Asia and America. In this slide, the bar graph shows that most of the deaths are due to natural disasters triggered by earthquakes. This makes an earthquake the most deadly natural hazard. In this slide, each red dot represents an earthquake. So as you can see, although earthquakes occur in many parts of the world, they are more common in the Pacific Rim, particularly in the Asian Pacific. This is probably due to tectonic plate movements in the Pacific Sea. Due to the disaster vulnerability of the Pacific Rim region, many disaster risk reduction and disaster preparation research activities have been implemented. Many of these activities are informed by disaster management cycle. The cycle consists of the reactive and proactive approaches. Reactive includes response and recovery following a disaster, while proactive comprises prevention and preparation before a disaster occurs. In the Pacific Rim, disaster risk reduction and disaster preparation strategies have evolved. Originally, most of the countries relied on command and control style, or what we call top-down approach, in which the public is considered the passive receiver. Under this method, more emphasis is placed on science and technology, such as sea defense and early warning systems. However, there have been a growing realization that technocentric approach may not always represent the best means of managing disasters. Therefore, in the last few decades, many countries have started recognizing the utility of engaging the public in disaster risk reduction and preparation. The people-centered approach recognizes indigenous knowledge and social capital. It also strives to tackle drivers of vulnerability rather than its consequences. To this far, research has shown that a holistic approach, that is, the one which combines beneficial elements of top-down and people-centered approaches, is relatively effective.
This is the situation of disaster in Japan. Compared to the world, Japan has a large number of big earthquakes. In Japan, death by disaster is not so serious. However, the economic damage seems very huge. This map shows the anticipated large-scale earthquakes. As you can see, Tokyo inland earthquakes is the major concern. The probability of an M7 class earthquake occurring in the southern Kanto area within 30 years is approximately 70%. This is why we would like to focus especially on Tokyo. This graph shows the number of foreigners in Tokyo. It's increasing, and in 2011 there was a Great East Japan earthquake, so that's why there was decrease a little bit and then increasing again. In this project, we would like to target foreigners because of increasing number of foreigners in Tokyo, as well as language barrier, poor social network, and its neglected population, less preparedness than Japanese, and less participation in evacuation drills.
There are three main objectives for our program. The first one is to develop a user-friendly mobile application targeting foreign residents in Japan. Next, we aim to increase the disaster preparedness of the foreign residents in Japan and also to cooperate with organizations already working on disaster issues in Japan and synergize the already ongoing disaster risk reduction efforts in Japan. Based on our three main objectives, we have also planned several activities to fulfill our objectives. Here is the brief overview of all the activities, and we would go into detail in the later slides. To achieve the first objective, we would like to develop a user-friendly mobile application in several languages such as Chinese, Korean, English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Nepali. Through this application, we can map the home and also the working place of the foreign residents in Japan. Moreover, the foreign residents can also confirm their safety during a disaster by just a tap on their mobile device. In addition to that, information such as the nearest evacuation centers and also safety tips during a disaster can be easily shared through the mobile application. To achieve the second objective of increasing the disaster preparedness of the foreign residents in Japan, we plan to organize evacuation drills at the universities and also workplaces with many foreign workers. As there are many cultural festivals held in Tokyo such as Thai festivals, Nepali festivals, African festivals, and Lao festivals, and many other foreign residents attend these festivals to reconnect with their cultures, we would like to use this opportunity to reach the foreign residents. We plan to have mini drills and also earthquake simulations at the cultural festivals. To encourage foreign residents to participate in these drills, a small incentive such as food and gift coupons would be given to the participants. Information such as safety pamphlets would also be distributed during these events. To achieve our third objective, we plan to get many stakeholders in disaster risk reduction to be involved too. We plan to share information with foreign embassies for safety checks during emergencies. In addition, we also aim to cooperate with local organizations and authorities to make Tokyo foreigner-friendly during times of disaster by putting signboards to indicate the evacuation areas in foreign languages. To keep tab on our performance and to evaluate our programs, we would do a very brief questionnaire through the mobile application to gauge the level of disaster preparedness of the foreign residents. We would ask simple questions such as their nearest evacuation places and also their satisfaction with the mobile application.
Now I will be talking about the timeline of activities in our project plan. There will be short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan for our activities. During the year 1, we will develop the mobile application and disseminate it among foreign residents living throughout Japan. Through this mobile application, we will also conduct mapping of foreign residents and also the evacuation areas. We will conduct a pre-intervention survey as a part of a pre-post intervention study, which we will do to measure the effectiveness of our project. We will also disseminate the information, education, and communication materials for disaster preparedness through this mobile application. Another important activity to do in year 1 will be identifying the supporting organizations with whom we will coordinate to implement our plan. During year 2, we will conduct evacuation preparedness and safety drills for foreign residents. We will start this from Tokyo and expand it to other prefectures in Japan in year 3 and beyond. After this project is implemented throughout Japan, we will conduct a post-intervention survey. As I mentioned earlier, we also have a strategy to measure the effectiveness of our plan with a pre-post intervention study. We will conduct the survey among the foreign residents through our mobile application. They will be asked about their knowledge and practice on emergency preparedness during disaster. Incentives will be also given to the survey participants. The results of this pre-post intervention study will allow us to understand how effective is our plan on preparing the foreign residents for disaster.
Now I will introduce you with the strategies for collaboration with organizations involved in disaster management. Sound collaboration with organizations involved in disaster management could help to effectively channelize the resources during the disaster. Therefore, understanding about the organizations involved and developing suitable strategies might play a crucial role in disaster risk reduction and disaster preparedness. According to the World Confederation for Physical Therapy, 5 different organizations are involved in disaster management. First, United Nations agencies such as Food and Agricultural Organization and International Organization for Migration. Second, the International Federation for Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Third, international non-governmental organizations such as Care and Handicap International. Likewise, bilateral organizations and national government and their agencies are involved in disaster management. Coordinating with these diverse organizations can be very challenging, especially during disaster. So we have come up with the following strategies. First, development of a common database. In this database, different organizations will register and provide information about logistics, food, medical supplies, and human resources. In addition, we'll collaborate with the embassies to circulate information among foreign residents about disaster preparedness activities such as mock drills. Finally, we'll collaborate with different international associations and foundations working with foreign residents, which can play a very important role to raise awareness on disaster preparedness and risk reduction activities.
Hope you enjoyed our video presentation and hope our plan will help the foreigners to prepare for disaster in Japan. せーの、ありがとうございます。